Greetings from the beach hut. I'm here to do my debrief on my shadow of the week. My shadow of the week was Pumpkin and Poppy's new collection. Truly outrageous. It had 6 shadows and 1 blush. I did 5 looks this week. Normally what I do is pick a look from the week that I enjoyed and recreate that, but I'm still not done playing with this collection, so I'm going to try a look today. It might fail, but I really want to give it a go. I never got a chance to try the pizzazz, that green color foiled, and so that's what I'll be doing today. I have already done what I would call my foundational routine, but I don't have any foundation on. I'm not using foundation at the moment. My skin looks pretty good, so I'm just going to call it my Finding My Features routine. I have done my brows. I contoured using Pumpkin and Poppy's Oak Bark. One other product I used in my Find My Features routine was Tarte's the Eraser. I always use this as a treatment. It doesn't do a whole lot to cover. When I first tried it, if you look at my first review on it, I really didn't like it because it didn't cover, and I was like, well, what the heck? But I had noticed on the website that it had some impressive before and after, so I thought, okay, I'll use it. I'll use it for 2 months. And sure enough, at the end of 2 months, I was seeing those improvements. Somebody asked me what benefits, and I would say a decrease in the dark circles, a decrease in puffiness, and a decrease in the wrinkling around the eye. And all those are good things. Of course, now they've decided to get rid of it. I also gave my lips a little bit of color and treatment with the Pink Papaya Pucker Up Pink Lip Stain. Pink Papaya says they do not test on animals. The makers of Pink Papaya Cosmetics are apparently the makers of Bobbi Brown. And Bobbi Brown is one of those interesting companies. It doesn't test on animals that I know of. However, its parent company is Estee Lauder, and Estee Lauder is one of those companies that went into China. The movement into the Chinese market has caused some consternation in the animal testing world. The Chinese government requires animal testing. That apparently is in the process of changing. However, a lot of companies, Avon, Mary Kay, Revlon, there's a group of them, Estee Lauder, that in fact went into the Chinese market, and they've been moved to the do test, so they are no longer on the do not test animals list. At this point, my decision with animal testing is simply to supply information. I am new to this, and so I really encourage you to go watch people who know this sector better than I do. I am just kind of feeling my way through it and trying to get a sense of the lay of the land. So let's get started with the look. I'm going to start with Aja, which is the cream shadow, and apply it over most of my lid and just into the corner a bit. I'm not going to take it into the crease all that much, and I'm just going to use my fingers. You can see I've just put it on very softly. All of these colors, people have been talking about this collection is really, really bold. And it is true that if you foil the products, you can get a really bold look. But it's also true that the collection goes very soft, and so you can get some really pretty soft looks from it. Next, I'm going to tightline. I am using my Tarte Emphasize Inner Rim Eye Pencil. However, I'm using it in the color Navy. Let me curl my eyelashes, and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to take this color Shayna, and Shayna is this purple pigment, and it does have red shimmer to it, but it's just a bit of red shimmer, and as you can see, it just can go on very, very lightly. I'm going to take this same shape brush, but in a clean brush, and grab Roxy. Roxy was the highlight color. Little too shimmery for me as a highlight color. On the lid, I found it a little too muddy in some ways, not bright enough. Of all the colors, this is the one that I found the most difficult to work with. I don't want to go too high up with the Roxy, but I do want to use it to blend some of that purple out. that is a fairly soft look, which is what I'm after with these purples. It's time for pizzazz, to do some lining with this. I am going to use the pumpkin and poppy foiled, again, mixing medium. I will take a push brush and just press that in. And yes, I am happy with that as a liner. For under the brow bone, I'm going to take this Fusion of Color concealer. I have mixed it with Bare Essentials Fair. And the Bare Essentials Fair I have is in the matte. So this is a very matte kind of highlighter. I will go back to this under eye area, conceal, and do something a little bit more interesting under there and finish off the mascara. But first I'm going to go ahead and do lips and cheeks, and to do that I'm going to use Gem. There is Gem. And my Fresh Sugar with SPF, and put that on. Something to grab the pigments. And again, the one thing about using pigments on your lips as well as your eyes is that you want to make sure you put them into a separate container, because you do not want to contaminate your pigment pot. My eye doctor would fuss about that. And there it is. I adored this as a lip color. I just loved it. I've been looking for a shade like this for a while, and I was like, yes, yes, it's this pink, but it's got the lilac in it. I really enjoy it. But it's a bit bright, so Roxy to the rescue. So there's my lip color. And let me go back to Gem and do a little cheek color. I'm going to take the Pumpkin and Poppy Cape of Wonders. This was from the Arabian Nights collection. It is something like a mineral veil, and so I'm just going to apply a very, very light application of this all over the face, just to kind of even things out. I'm still using Laura Geller's The Real Deal Concealer. Laura Geller claims no animal testing. I'm not sure. A lot of companies say no animal testing, and then you kind of read the fine print, and there is. She seems pretty firm that there's no animal testing. Some of the fine print you'll get is no animal testing unless required by law. That seems to be the China clause. That means that's code for we're selling in China. China requires this by law, therefore it gets done. Philosophy has a really interesting statement. It says, we don't animal test. However, some of our suppliers animal test. And of course, parabens and phenoxyethanol have been tested on animals. And so if you're using products with paraben or phenoxyethanol, yeah, there's been animal testing done somewhere in that chain. But Laura Geller Real Deal Concealer contains parabens. I just need to get to the end of it. This is my Project Concealer Pan. This is going to be a little like that Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes that had the phenoxyethanol, that mascara, where once I decided to get rid of it and not use it again, it went on forever and ever and ever, and that's how this is. This is going to take me 100 years to get through, and every time I'm going to have to say, and this product has parabens. So, be using it and then be done with it. Don't know yet what I'm going to replace it with. Part of the reason I go all the way instead of just in that dark spot is I want to do a little lifting motion on my eyes. If you do this kind of triangular movement up, you can get a little bit of a lift. Time to finish off my eyes. I'm going to go back to this Tarte's Inner Rim product in Navy and just get that right under the eyes. I won't put it in the waterline because I don't want to close my eyes up. I want to keep them open, so I'm going to put it right below. I'm going to go back to my push brush with that Pizzazz foiled and do some work at the outer corner. Time for mascara. Top lashes, I am going to use my 100% pure, no animal testing mascara in black tea, and on the bottom I'm going to use my little mini in the blackberry. This is kind of a plummy color, so it'll be just a little bit lighter on the bottom than on the top. And last but not least, I'm going to cover the evil age spots. They're not looking so bad these days. Not as bad as they have looked in previous summers, but they're there. And just going to even out the color on this side. So that is my shadow of the week. It has been the truly outrageous collection by Pumpkin and Poppy. I've really enjoyed playing with it. I always enjoy playing with her collections. I just think she has an amazing eye for color and for the subtlety of colors. Her colors have a lot of depth, they have a lot of interest, and she mixes them with interesting ways, and so they're great fun to play with. I really enjoy kind of getting into her collections and getting a variety of looks. Finally, some of you might know this from Twitter, but I was at a thrift store yesterday. We were looking for some lawn chairs, and we found them for $6 for 2 chairs. It's fantastic. But I also, for $1, got these Giorgio from Beverly Hills sunglasses, vintage 1980s. Lots of coverage on the eyes, right over the evil age spots. So I'm going to have a lot of fun. This was $1 well spent. Judy, are you watching? You always get the best yard sale deals. So I finally got a thrift deal. I'm thrilled. Now I need a convertible, and my friend has a wonderful vintage convertible, and so I plan to go sporting my Giorgio Beverly Hills made in France $1 sunglasses in the vintage convertible. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, let me know what you're up to. In the meantime, it's Saturday. Make it a great weekend. Hope you enjoy it. Bye.